tell your man, like, hey dude, go do with whatever you want with all your dudes, he's gonna build something awesome. And like with the trainings as well, you know, and no offense gals, but like with guys, I can just be like, hey man, you're really screwing this shit up big time. You know, and you can tell them that point blank.
You can take it.
Women, you can't. You're gonna get a kick in the face. No, I can't. No, I can't.
I will kick you in the face.
So I just think that, you know, it's just different. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just everything is just different, and guys respond to everything differently. We learn differently than women do. It's just everything is just completely different.
So really, in a nutshell, you are trying not to form into what the model is saying.
Yes.
You are just still being you.
Yes.
So like, since we're on this topic, and you do have all those videos out there, you freaking have whiskey in your videos. You
Absolutely.
are swearing and doing everything. So chocolate, how do you present that?
So to me, that's attractive, and I had to switch that because for the past 2 years, I've been talking to women, like talking about, oh, I'd love to wear some yoga pants. I'd be bankrupt if I was a woman. You know, stupid stuff like that. Like I was definitely talking to women. So I had to switch that and start talking to guys, and that's when I was like, you know, I'm gonna throw a cuss word. And I didn't know if that was like accepted. It's accepted, guys. It's awesome. It's awesome. You know, I don't know. I just think if you can train your coach, your guy coach, and show him you don't need to be this Beachbody model type stuff. You can literally just be yourself. Once he does that, he's like, dude, I'm just being myself. It's so much easier. You know, when you share your story, it's so much easier when you can just do it how you want to do it. And you're gonna attract people just like that. So I don't care if I'm gonna offend somebody for my swear words. Like I don't care because I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to the people that I want to talk to.
Yeah.
And that helps so much.
So I think it's just, you really gotta still live in the life that you have. So you
Yeah.
are locker room.
Yeah.
Like how you talk to guys in the locker room.
Right.
Or when you guys all go out to the bar, right?
Sorry. Yes.
So whatever your lifestyle has been, when you hang out with your group of guys at sporting events, or about, you act the same, but you're not just doing it focusing on health and fitness.
Exactly.
Okay. How about you?
Well, I think everything Trey said is spot on. I think to take it just another step further, I think it's about catering to the individual. And systems are awesome, and Chelsea and I live and die by our systems, but systems can only handle certain things. The individual that you interact with is different, whether it's a guy or a girl. So you have to know what their goal is, you have to know how they respond. And the only way by doing that is actually having the conversations and getting to know people. So I think that's the other thing that's been a big focus for us, is just not plugging people into the system and just letting it ride, getting to know what they need from us and trying to provide that.
Okay, so you'll do that in the getting started call, and then you establish like set points after that?
Yeah, and so we do a weekly Zoom call that everyone can be on, and now it's gotten a lot bigger, so we have to have people pre-submit the information that they're going to share, but just making sure that you're connecting at every opportunity that you can to see how people are feeling and trying to, again, get them to events here. I mean, just being able to spend the last couple of days with everybody who's here makes it feel so much better, because a lot of it can get lost in translation on the internet. And I know that you guys have all read a post and said like, oh my gosh, this person's passively aggressively talking about me.
Yeah.
Because we all project on other people, and that's something that Chelsea and I both struggled with and gone to EMDR about. But being able to connect in person and at these events is really huge.
So you're running challenge groups then yourself, or
Chelsea and I are now running them together,
Okay.
just because we found that it was now the environment that we wanted to make. We've run challenge groups probably 15 different ways in the past few years. We do what works as long as it works, and when it stops, we try something else.
Okay, so here's the next question. So say you have a guy, so we're going to be obviously talking more towards the guy side of things, is what if they don't want to do challenge groups? How are you training them to build this business?
So, to build the business, if they don't want to run with a challenge group. So usually what we'll do, the system that I have with men who don't want to be in challenge groups, is it's more of a weekly check-in. I'll have them in a group, but I'll just set the expectation saying, you don't need to post it all, but I need that check-in once a week.
Yeah.
And then they, in turn, if they want to be able to build it the same way, they work with that same model. Because the way that I look at it, I would rather someone get the workouts in and get the nutrition done than spend 30 minutes writing up a post and sitting there afraid to hit a post.
Right.
Because that's not going to get them results.
So what type of activity then are you having them do to actually achieve Success Club and sponsor?
Oh, so as far as that goes, it's the same thing. So we'll talk about just bringing people into whatever group that is, or just creating a chain from an email perspective. So if it's a weekly check-in, we'll send out. I think we use MailChimp. I'm not sure, we may be using eye contact right now. I'm not sure. But so we'll create an email group so that we'll send out the check-ins and we'll get the responses and then continue moving forward that way.
So do you find that people who don't want to run a social group, like challenges, that they're more of an analytical thinker, do they respond well with you saying, okay, well, you got to go reach out to a certain amount of people this week and present the business?
Well, yeah, as long as we can prove that they are going to get results with it. And that's the thing, because a lot of times it's just about community. For a lot of people, it's about community.
Yeah.
For guys, it's about results. So it's like you need to be communicating with them and making sure that they're following the guidelines and following the programs. Once they get the results, it's going to be easy for them to talk to people.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Trey?
It's exactly, dude, you just killed it. That's exactly
So
it.
it's done.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, that conversation's over with.
Now who's dropping the hammer?
So with guys building then outside of challenge groups, are you using different types of language or terminology aside from, just telling them get your shit together, are you telling them to do reaching out to people differently or putting posts up differently? Is there language that you're
Right.
directing?
So immediately we're gonna figure out what their brand is and what they want to represent. Or, really, you're just figuring out what their strengths are, like Rob said.
Yeah.
And because a lot of coaches, females and males, don't realize the potential that they have, the strengths that they have.
Yeah.
So when you go out and say, like, I noticed this about you, they're like, huh, that's kind of cool. Thank you. And so then you're just showing them, like, all right, so, you don't want to be puking Beachbody, puking fitness. Like, start sharing your story with this, add this, and throw this up at this time, and showing them, like, just really that you're just kind of showing them like the dumbed down, the clip notes of how to run a business. It's really not hard. What else was there? See, I have short-term memory, I'm a guy, so.
No, just like the language that you'll tell them
Oh.
action, what to go do.
Right. So again, yeah, it's just easy. Like, hey man, and just that simple post right in the beginning, like, I just ordered Body Beast. Has anyone else tried that? Or with Shakeology, like. That's not like a crazy salesy post. It's an engaging post, and you're gonna start to see people come out of the woodworks who say, "No, dude, I wanted to try that," or "I see Hammer and Chisels coming out, and I'd like to try that with you." And it's like, dude, I didn't even tell this person or ask them about becoming a coach or buying a program, and people are coming to me about that. So that's easy. Like Rob's saying, show them the results right off the bat, and don't show them how to run a business, because just show them the clip notes of how to do it.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a different question then. So when you first got started as a coach and you met Chelsea, and she was basically telling you should be a coach, and correct me if I'm wrong, and you're like, no, I just want to help people on this way and share my journey, but I don't want to be a coach, right?
Yeah.
So my question is, how can you force your spouse to be involved if they are saying, I don't want to be involved?
Well, no, I think it's really just minimizing what they have to do. Minimizing what they have to do, and like I said at the beginning, just finding maybe one thing that they're good at, and then building them up. Like, if you have something that is really struggling and your husband or wife, depending on who's working with the business, is really good at that, be like, hey, you know what? I'm terrible at this, and I know that this is your strength, you're really, really good at this. Do you think you could help me with this one thing?
Yeah.
Kind of like when you delegate, it's like, I need help with this one thing, just toe dip. Don't try to, the other thing that I would say is don't try to make your spouse the same type of coach that you are, because that's not going to be their personality and that's not going to be their strength. So just toe dip, get one thing, and then find out what their love language is. We talked about Gary Chapman's love language with all of our coaches. Find out what their love language is, and then give it to them.
Okay, I really agree with that, because a lot of times the other is trying to force that person to do what they're doing.
And nobody wants to do that.
Well, it's the same thing as you trying to tell me to pick up my stuff at home. I'm not going to do it. I'll do it when I'm ready. So you can't tell the spouse what to do. And I think that's the big area that a lot of people are trying to get their spouse involved and to push them into doing a role that is not their role. Like John's an IT guy. He's not going to create training systems for my coaches. He's just not that great.
And your spouse will find it. If you leave the breadcrumbs and if you give them that one little task at a time, you will both start to find out what the strength is.
What would you say to that then, of helping encourage your spouse to be more involved? So it's not a matter of forcing them to be involved. How can you kind of lay the breadcrumbs to get them interested to want to start to participate?
Right, I think that, well, for me, guys, it was just connecting to some videos from other guys that are putting out there on YouTube. So, you know, instead of like, you know, forcing him to do stuff, like the reason that I wanted this so badly is because I was connected to Scotty Hobbs. You know, so like connect your man to someone that they can connect to. They're like, you know, I can feel where he's coming from. They can connect that story. That's gonna make them drive and want to work the business, you know. But if you force them, it's not gonna. It's just gonna be hard.
It causes fights.
Yeah, exactly.
More of a problem.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So final words as we wrap this up. Then, what would you kind of give advice for a lot of the guys in here who think, "There's no way I can do this because look, it's much women in here achieving. How can I achieve when this is a female-dominated business?"
I think we have an advantage because but we have the ability to help women and men as long as we're sensitive and get to know people's needs. And I think that it's harder for a man, and I guess it's my opinion, it's harder for a man to put trust in a woman because I think that men are more insecure than women. So just be bold, be direct, and don't be afraid to have the conversation.
I think I absolutely agree. We have a major advantage over women. And I'll tell you why, and please don't be offended or anything like that. But listen, hear me out, guys. Like a woman, if they're like, I want to lose weight, they're either going to go to a woman or they might go to a man if he's putting that out there. Like, I help people with fitness. But a man won't typically go to a woman and be like, hey, like, can you help me out? So I think that we have both genders. We really do. Like, I help a lot of women and I help a lot of men. Dude, how many men come to you guys for help or want to become a coach? Oh, okay. Yeah, so, exactly. So, man, we have a huge advantage, all right? Second thing, social media is so damn noisy out there, with all of us trying to be recognized. We have the advantage because how many women are in here right now? Raise your hand real quick. I know there's way more women in here, so. We're already different. We already stand out on social media because we're men, okay? And it's just like what was that, the 4-minute mile, where like no one thought it could be done. But now we're starting to see more men do it because now they're seeing Josh Spencer, Rob. They're seeing these awesome men who are making it happen. They're like, well, if he can do it, so can I. So, guys, we really have a huge advantage, and I hope this video gets them. I hope they're watching this because they should absolutely sign up and get hungry and go after this for sure.
Just really, I guess, in everyone, no matter if you're a guy or a girl, is really find the part of this business that you enjoy or like and don't feel that you have to do a certain role because that's what the company says or a coach says. Is what part of this lifestyle do you like and own that part?
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.